Hello and welcome back. A very good early morning to you from Costa Rica. We are here doing the lessons of A Course in Miracles, and I'm doing a little pre-dawn lesson this morning because today a group of us are going to leave the Channeling Jesus retreat and go commune with some monkeys. That's going to be so fun. So I'll get some video footage of that hopefully and be able to share that with you. So today we're going to have a little piece of humble pie with our lesson. We're doing lesson number 24. I do not perceive my own best interests. Here we go. Let's just take a deep breath. Get ready to settle in for a good teaching in the reality of what's causing a lot of suffering in our lives right now. I do not perceive my own best interests. In no situation that arises do you realize the outcome that would make you happy. Therefore, you have no guide to appropriate action and no way of judging the result. What you do is determined by your perception of the situation, and that perception is wrong. It is inevitable then that you will not serve your own best interests. Yet they are your only goal in any situation which is correctly perceived. Otherwise, you will not recognize what they are. If you realized that you do not perceive your own best interests, you could be taught what they are. But in the presence of your conviction that you do know what they are, you cannot learn. So we think we know what's best for us, and we advocate for it very vehemently, according to Jesus, but apparently we don't know. The idea for today is a step toward opening your mind so that learning can begin. The exercises for today require much more honesty than you're accustomed to using. A few subjects, honestly and carefully considered in each of the 5 practice periods, which should be undertaken today, will be more helpful than a more cursory examination of a large number. 2 minutes are suggested for each of the mind-searching periods which the exercises involve. The practice periods should begin with repeating today's idea, followed by searching the mind with eyes closed for unresolved situations about which you are currently concerned. The emphasis should be on uncovering the outcome you want. You will quickly realize that you have a number of goals in mind as part of the desired outcome, and also that these goals are on different levels and often conflict. In applying the idea for today, name each situation that occurs to you, and then enumerate carefully as many goals as possible that you would like to be met in its resolution. The form of each application should be roughly as follows. In the situation involving my finances, I would like a miraculous windfall to happen and for all of my debts to be paid off tomorrow to happen, and so on. Try to cover as many different kinds of outcomes as may honestly occur to you, even if some of them do not appear to be directly related to the situation or even to be inherent in it at all. If these exercises are done properly, you will quickly recognize that you are making a large number of demands of the situation which have nothing to do with it. You will also recognize that many of your goals are contradictory, that you have no unified outcome in mind, and that you must experience disappointment in connection with some of your goals, however the situation turns out. After covering the list of as many hoped-for goals as possible for each unresolved situation that crosses your mind, say to yourself, I do not perceive my own best interests in this situation, and go on to the next one. So that's interesting. It's just the title of the lesson it's very humbling to consider that we don't have our own best interests in mind, and the list of wants and desires that we have whatever the course of action or the steps to get to the outcome we desire can be conflicting with one another, which causes us stress and tension and probably paralyzes our movement to take a step toward any goal, achieving any goal that we have, or attempting to solve any problems that we have. So I would say, in all honesty, I don't actually have a financial struggle. I just use that because I know that that's a common thing, and I was sort of like using it as an example. But for my life, I'm currently in a situation where I'm living in a house. I'm renting with two beautiful sisters. We call it the Goddess House in Florida, and we're kind of on a month-to-month rental situation. And I feel like this year, 2024, I'm going to be moving somewhere. So I get a little paralyzed when I imagine, where am I going to go? There's a couple different places where I think I would like to go, and then the idea that comes up in my mind is why that may not work out for me. And so I just sort of stop planning, and I just turn it off completely, and I think, oh well, Spirit's just going to guide me, so I don't have to really think about it. So in terms of me not perceiving my own best interests, I think that there must be a fear that arises that prevents me from actually taking action toward planning on moving to a certain place. So me not perceiving my own best interest probably has more to do with that rather than financial struggles. But this can apply to anything. This could also apply to relationships that you are working to repair. Your forgiveness practice may involve someone in your family, and you really believe that if you could just repair a certain situation, that life would somehow be better. Something like that. So whatever's coming up for you, apply that, and go through the exercise that the situation involving blank, you would like to have this and this happen. And if there's more than two outcomes, list them out, say them in your mind, but make sure that you complete the practice periods with this, because what happens is when you are humble enough to reveal your own expectations, your own goals, even if you can see how they conflict now that you've read this lesson, when you open yourself up and actually verbalize it or in your mind list it out, that gives Jesus a chance to see that you're trying to work on this. It gives the Holy Spirit that little avenue of announcing kind of new inspired ideas into your consciousness, because we are simply light beings that are in these little bodies. Only a portion of our consciousness is in this human figure to begin with. So this thing that feels like it's just gripping your life and paralyzing your life probably isn't. And the whole collage of things that you feel like are colliding and preventing you from moving forward, that's really not the truth either. So do your best to explain out what all of your challenges are in this, starting with that preface and ending with that statement, I do not perceive my own best interests. And let whatever comes. You may not get miraculous solutions today, but this is the beginning of opening your mind to correct the beliefs that got you into this situation that will certainly help you move forward in your life. So I love you all. Have a great day. I'll enjoy the monkeys. I'll tell them you said hi, and I'll be back here again with you tomorrow. Take care.